Bama-Georgia week. It is Monday. Hottest show on the streets. #1 forum for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to have you in here. We bring you the show from the magic city of Birmingham. We stream this to you through YouTube. Speaking of the channel, you know what time it is. You smash that subscribe button right now. You hit subscribe. You like the show, smash the thumbs up. You make this your spot, your avenue to talk all things Bama football. The daily super chat go $100 daily. Super chat go $100 right there. We appreciate that. A lot to get into tonight. We're discussing all eyes on this game, Bama-Georgia. What can we see from Deboer? What can we see from Nick Sheridan? What can we see from Kane Womack? We'll get into some injury updates here. Coach Deboer updating the media on a few guys that were banged up against Wisconsin. How will they look going into the matchup against Georgia? And then last but not least here, does Jalen Milroe need a Heisman-like performance here to handle the Bulldogs? But we definitely want to hear from you. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358. And I'm going to call in to let your voice be heard, 205-448-1358. One more time, 205-448-1358. But Eli, we're jumping right into topic #1 of the conversation. All eyes will be on Saban Field, Bryant-Denny Stadium this weekend, Bama-Georgia, 6:30 p.m. Central Time kickoff from Tuscaloosa. The SEC on ABC. You got ESPN's College Game Day going to be in the building. Several other stuff going on happening. The first time we will see Kalen Deboer, Kirby Smart go at it here. This game, Eli, gives you a college football playoff feel early in the regular season. This game gives you maybe even an SEC championship game preview early in the season, because there's no more divisions now. No more divisions now. This game gives you a Heisman Trophy feel early in the season. You got both quarterbacks, Jalen Milroe, Carson Beck, in the Heisman conversation. This game also gives you an NFL draft feel for next year. Just about the entire league is going to be at this game. Just about every single pro team, Eli, is going to be at this game. So you have a melting pot of things that'll be on Saban Field at Bryant-Denny this weekend. But the #1 thing, Kalen Deboer, Kirby Smart will have their first time meeting. Kirby Smart trying to get the Alabama monkey off his back. 1-5 all time against Alabama. Those were Nick Saban coach teams. Now you got Kalen Deboer. Can Kirby Smart get the Alabama monkey off his back? Can Georgia get the Alabama monkey off its back as a program? Since 2007, Alabama and Georgia have met 10 times. Georgia 2-8. So big matchup here for Kirby Smart. But more than that, this is going to be a game, Eli, for Alabama's coordinators. Nick Sheridan, Kane Womack. There's a reason why both of these two were hired to Tuscaloosa. And it's for games like this. It's for matchups like this. Both guys have a chance to earn that paycheck against Georgia. What will they do to offset the Bulldogs in Tuscaloosa? What will Nick Sheridan do? What will Kane Womack do? Starting this off with Nick Sheridan here as the offensive coordinator, this is a game where can he be very creative? How creative can Sheridan be in this game, right? We've seen the best offensive coordinators for Alabama go against Georgia. We saw in 2008 what Jim McElwain was able to do between the hedges in Athens. You got the 41-30 win there. We saw what Lane Kiffin was able to do 2015 in the monsoon of rain, Sanford Stadium, with that Alabama offense. We saw what Brian Deboer was able to do in the second half, that national championship game against Georgia. We saw what, Mike Knoxley was able to do, 2018 SEC championship game against Georgia. We saw what Steve Sarkisian was able to do for 2020 matchup. COVID year in Tuscaloosa. Final score ended up being 41-24, if I'm not mistaken there. And even though people kind of, this guy was okay, we saw what Tommy Reese was able to provide last year in the SEC championship. But here's the thing. What does Nick Sheridan do? How creative can he be, right? Because you're entering a matchup where Georgia's got some guys banged up on defense. They're hoping that they can have these guys on the field for Saturday. We have an idea, Eli, that Georgia's going to want to take away Ryan Williams. They're going to want to do that, whether it's through being physical with him at the line of scrimmage, press man coverage there, trying to jam him up there, whether it's bracketing him with different coverage looks, whether it's rolling the coverage over to his side. Georgia's going to look to take away Ryan Williams, which, if the Dogs are successful in that right, how does Nick Sheridan create for Kendrick Law? Like, this could be a really good game, big game for K-Law. But how does Nick Sheridan create for K-Law? How does Sheridan create for Jeremy Bernard? How does Sheridan create for Kobe Prentice? Right? How does Sheridan also create for the run game? You got to think about that too. Because Jam Miller had the hot hand against Wisconsin, but I believe this week Justice Haynes has got something to say. Justice from Georgia, went to high school, Buford High School in Georgia. His father, Georgia legacy. Justice knows the magnitude of this game. So I feel like he is going to get those opportunities on Saturday. But how creative will Nick Sheridan be in the play calling to offset Georgia's defense and to get Alabama's offense off to a fast start? Because Georgia's offense wants to get you death by 1,000 cuts. They don't necessarily have the big explosive playmakers. There's no more Brock Bowers, no more Lant McConkey. You don't have the big explosive playmakers. So Georgia's going to try to nickel and dime you down the field, 10, 12, 15 play drives to slow the game down and play at a slow pace. What Georgia would like to do is play at the same pace that Michigan played Alabama at in the Rose Bowl last year. That pace. That's the pace Georgia's looking for, right? How does Nick Sheridan in this football game, creativity-wise, get Bama off to a fast start on Georgia? When you look at Kane Womack, the question is, how much pressure does he apply on Georgia's offense? Georgia not going to have all SEC right guard from last year, Tate Ratledge. He's out because of a tightrope surgery done on his left ankle. I think there's also another offensive lineman for Georgia that may not play in this game. So when you look at Alabama's defense, when you look at Kane Womack, who mentioned over the bye week, Alabama has not used a lot of its defense, only a small volume. So there is some stuff getting ready to be pulled out here. But how much pressure does Womack apply to Carson Beck to affect him, creating takeaways, as well as this 4-2-5 defense, this swarm D, stopping the run here, handling your assignment, executing gap integrity, gap discipline, doing that as well. So, Nick Sheridan, Kane Womack, how do you earn that paycheck this week against Georgia? I think the big thing for Kane and Deboer is I wouldn't call it, Eli, necessarily pressure. For Kalen DeBoer in this matchup, it's Alabama fans love being reassured. You can assure the Alabama nation so many times, but they want it one more time. Did Greg Byrne make the right hire? Did Greg Byrne get the right guy to come on the plane to Tuscaloosa, be the successor to Nick Saban? Was the right move made? I feel like a win for Kalen DeBoer over Kirby Smart. Bama Nation can do like that movie Waiting to Exhale and being like, Greg Byrne got it right. Greg Byrne made the right hire. Kalen DeBoer was much needed to be the man to take over for this Alabama football program. I think that's the big thing. The reassurance to Bama fans, this was the right hire. But all eyes will be on Tuscaloosa Saturday. Bama, Georgia, Saban Field, Bryant-Denny. This is going to be outstanding. We're going to go to our first break here on the show. On Touch That Dial, just getting you started here. When we come back, we're getting your phone calls. Light us up with your phone calls, your thoughts, your energy. We want all of your conversation right here after this.
TDA Plus is the all-new Ultimate Alabama Football Package, perfect for any Alabama football fan. Not only do you get subscriber-only articles where you can stay up to date on everything that's going on with Alabama football, you also get our brand new video hub that features many podcasts and shows, including Steven's Report with Stephen M. Smith. With over 15 years of covering Alabama football, you get trusted information as Stephen goes in person to see the team come back and break down to you what he saw live in person. You also get the Way It Is podcast with Stephen M. Smith, where he tells never-heard-before stories and crazy situations that happened during his 15-year tenure of covering Alabama football. You also get Justin and Dex, where they break down recruits like you've never seen it before, with exclusive behind-the-scenes information and exclusive interviews with recruits. You also get Justin's Recruiting Bites with Justin Smith, where you get the best up-close and personal recruiting information and even talks to you while he's on the road going to recruiting events. Alabama fans, you don't want to miss this huge offer for a jam-packed experience for only $7.95 per month. Visit touchdownalabama.com and become a TDA Plus member today.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, Bama Nation, it is Monday. Crimson Tide, Georgia week here. You're rocking and rolling. Hottest show on the streets. Number one ticket for all your Bama football coverage content. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama magazine. My man Eli Walker in the production room. Continue hitting the like button. Hitting that subscribe button as well. Making this your platform, your show for all things Bama football. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. Daily Super Chat Go, $100. We appreciate that from all of you. And phone lines open, 205-448-1358. And I'm going to call in, let your voice be made known. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from you as you're getting, well, we got a call right here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How are you feeling? State your name. Where you calling from?
Hey, Steven, this is Mike from Kentucky, man. What's going on, brother?
Doing good, Mike. Doing good. How are we feeling, Mike, about this week?
Oh, man, I'm feeling real good about this week, man. If you've been paying attention to the internet, them Georgia fans are sweating this hard, bro. They are sweating this game hard. Even Pollock. I was listening to Pollock on YouTube today, man. He's scared to death, bro. If we play clean game, this game won't even be close.
And so, Mike, that's the thing. If Bama plays a clean game and Bama jumps out all over Georgia, this can be very bad for the Bulldogs because They don't have an explosive big play threat right now at all. And if Kane Womack's defense puts this heat to Carson Beck, it's going to be a long day for Beck.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned for Georgia fans, man. They're going to all jump off Stone Mountain when this game's done.
I mean, man, like I'm just saying, hearing Kane and Deboer, hearing Kane Womack talk today, this is a coaching staff that, yes, for a lot of these guys, it will be their first time against Georgia, but man, are they ready, and man, are they prepared.
Yeah, I think this game's going to go our way from the get. You know, a lot of people they keep bringing up Jalen needs to get better at the intermediate game. Yeah, I guess that's a point, but you know, nobody spins it downfield better than him, and nobody runs better than him, and that keeps your linebackers honest. I could maybe throw a couple slants in there, maybe one to the freshman phenom, maybe one to Kobe. Couple of slants just to keep their linebackers a little honest. I don't think we need a intermediate passing game. I think we're good enough without it, man. What do you think, bro?
I mean, Mike, I like your point there, and that's why I mentioned this game is going to be big for the creativity of Nick Sheridan. Like, getting Kobe Prentice, good looks. Getting Kendrick Law, good looks. Getting Ryan Williams, getting Jeremy Bernard. Get your receivers looks here. These are games where you see the best offensive coordinators be really, really creative and put in the best matchup where if I put my best guy on this guy right here, we can get some looks. So that's the thing for Nick Sheridan. Can he create for all of these Bama guys to get favorable matchups?
Yeah, I don't think there's a linebacker in the country that can cover Ryan on the slant. You know, everybody compares him to Devontae. Let's see. Devontae was deadly with the slant pass. You know, that's what I'm looking for, man. Well, I'm going to get off, man. I know there's a lot of people wanting to talk this week, man. Roll Tide, everybody.
Appreciate Mike from Kentucky calling in there. Yes, Devontae Smith was deadly on slants. Jamison Williams was deadly on go balls. And Ryan Williams is a blend of the two when you look at Devontae Smith and Jamison Williams. But 205-448-1358 for them to call in. 205-448-1358. Cool call topic, Eli. So ESPN's College Game Day coming to your city will be in Tuscaloosa this weekend. Nick Saban, Kirk Herbstreit, Reese Davis, Desmond Howard, Pat McAfee, the entire crew. Will they bring Corso? Will they have Lee Corso? Remains to be seen. But the game day crew will be in Tuscaloosa Saturday for Alabama-Georgia. And I believe, Eli, this will be the first time this season Nick Saban has to pick a Bama game. Nick Saban has to pick this time. So we're going to see, who does Nick Saban go with? Does he go with Alabama making the pick? Does he go with Georgia making the pick? So it's going to be very interesting to see what does Nick Saban do here this weekend in him picking this matchup between the Tide and the Bulldogs. But we're taking another break here, folks, on the show. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we get into the injury updates for Alabama. A few guys got banged up against Wisconsin. They've had a bye week to heal up. Coach Deboer talked about names that have progressed this week. We'll get into those and see how they fare for the Georgia matchup after this. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah, this. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, Bama Nation, here we go. Back to the action from the break on a Monday. Alabama-Georgia week. Hottest show on the streets here. Talking your Crimson Tide, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. And now, Eli, we get to the part of the conversation where the Alabama fans want to know, Stephen, what's up with the injury update, the injury report. Alabama had a couple of guys, few guys that got banged up against Wisconsin. They've had a bye week to heal up, to rest up. So where are we when you look at these particular players here for the Georgia game? Because Bama-Georgia Saturday, you need guys healthy for this game. You need guys healthy for this matchup. You need guys set and ready to go for this contest. So first and foremost, Quay Russo, Alabama linebacker, redshirt freshman at that Wolf position, 6'2", 251-pounder from Montgomery, Alabama, by the way of Carver High School. According to Deboer, very optimistic about Quay. Now, they're still working Quay, but very optimistic that Quay will play this weekend. Optimism is very high on Russo. Now, Deboer did not say he'll 100% go, but he said we are very optimistic when it comes to Quay. Russo had a lower leg injury. I believe it was kind of an ankle issue against Wisconsin, but very optimistic when it comes to Quay. And Bama's going to need him, right, in pressuring the likes of Carson Beck, getting to him, affecting him, frustrating him. So good news so far on Quay. The coaching staff optimistic to have him against Georgia. I know when Deboer speaks Wednesday during the SEC coaches teleconference, I think we'll get our final word on that. When you look at Malachi Moore, Malachi is expected to go. The fifth-year senior, according to Coach Deboer, he's going to go. He's going to play. He practiced all last week during the bye week, took a little bump to the head there against Wisconsin. Malachi's fine. He will go. He will play. That's your communicator on the back end of your defense. That is your leader. That is your team captain as a strong safety. So having the assurance that Malachi is going to go, he will play. He practiced all during the bye week. This is huge. So Malachi's expected to go. So high optimism on Quay Russo and Malachi Moore, your two big guys on defense. They're both, Malachi's expected to go. Quay looking like he's trending toward playing here against Georgia. You look at these other two names, Richard Young and Cole Adams. Alabama continuing to take both guys slowly here. They hope to have these two. You hope to have Cole Adams, redshirt freshman wide receiver who had an arm injury against South Florida. He didn't play against Wisconsin. Of course, last week was the bye week, so Cole's had 2 weeks. I think you'll have Cole. I think you may have Cole. They're taking him, through all the drills and whatnot. Deboer mentioned he has been able to do some things, in practice. Cole, a quality wide receiver, your starter in terms of punt return. If you're not able to have him, you still have Jagan Mbakwe, who can return punts, but we'll continue to keep our eyes there on Cole. They're continuing to work with him. Richard Young, another one that coaching staff taking slowly here throughout this week's process. He had an injury similar to Russo's against Wisconsin. We'll see. I think of the four, the only one, Eli, if he doesn't play, that it's not a detriment would be Richard Young, right? Because you do have Justice Haynes. You do have Jam Miller. You do have Jalen Milroe, who likes to run it also. And then you do have the true freshman. You do have the two freshmen, Daniel Hill and Kevin Riley. Now, if Richard Young can go, let him go, right? But that'll be one where if he doesn't, it's not necessarily a detriment there. But we'll continue to keep our eyes on all four of these players. More importantly, where Quay Russaw is concerned, if we get the definite from King and Deboer Wednesday, SEC coaches teleconference that he's a definite go. But right now, trending toward he's a go. That being Russaw, Malachi Moore expected to play. And then for Adams and Richard Young, both being taken slowly here through this week of practice. We'll see for them Wednesday as well during the SEC coaches teleconference. But we'll take another break right here, folks. We'll touch that dial. When we get back, we return to the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. We want to hear from you right after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Kalen Deboer and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 National Champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, Bama Nation, we're back rocking and rolling to the action from the break. Number one ticket for your Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Gotta show some love for Del Bay! One time with that $20 donation, dropping that in there. Appreciate Dale B right there. Also, a lot of you guys in the chat showing your concern about the weather. Yes, when you look at Hurricane Helene, that coming up here in the coming days, you definitely want everybody being careful with this upcoming storm. I know it's supposed to be the amount of rain for Saturday's matchup against Georgia. I've looked at between 40 and 60% chance of rain there, Eli. So we definitely want everybody being safe when it comes down to the storm brewing of a storm coming in. But the phone lines are open. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. The number to call in to get your voice be heard, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. We want to hear from you. Call topic here, people. Ryan Williams, the freshman phenom, the electric former five-star, is trying to continue the success of Bama freshman wide receivers against Georgia. This goes all the way back to 2008. 2008, Julio Jones in that matchup against Georgia as a freshman, 5 catches, 94 yards, 1 touchdown. Bama won the game 41-30. If you go to 2012, Amari Cooper, his freshman year against Georgia in the SEC title game, 8 catches, 128 yards, 1 touchdown. Bama got the 32-28 win. Then you go 2015, Calvin Ridley, freshman receiver between the hedges in Athens, 5 catches, 120 yards, a touchdown. Bama won 38-10. We remember 2017, Devontae Smith, all he had was 1 catch as a freshman against Georgia in the national championship game, but it was the 41-yard game-winning touchdown on 2nd and 26, having Alabama 26-23 over Georgia. When you go to 2018, the following year, SEC championship, Jalen Waddle, 4 catches for 113 yards, a touchdown. Bama 35, Georgia 28. And then, and that's the list right there of all of the freshman guys that had, marquee success there against Georgia. So here is Ryan Williams looking to continue that success, looking to continue that trend on the big stage, Saban Field, Bryant-Denny Stadium this weekend. So hopefully Hollywood can continue that level there of success that we have seen from prior Bama receivers as freshmen against Georgia. I'm going to go to our final break here on the show. When we get back, we wrap things up with this discussion. Does Jalen Milroe really need a Heisman performance to handle Georgia? We'll wrap things up with that after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's going on? This is Benny Bice. I'm the founder and owner of Touchdown Alabama. And you guys are supporting one of the only independent outlets covering Alabama football today. No other sports, no networks, just Alabama football. Roll Tide Roll.
All right, folks, we're back rocking and rolling to the action from the break. Number one ticket for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. And Eli, before we get into the final discussion of conversation, I got to say this. For this matchup between Alabama and Georgia, with this game being in Tuscaloosa, ESPN's College Game Day has been notorious for this. Can we please, this weekend, get a guest picker that's affiliated or related to Alabama football? Like in some way, shape, or form, can we please, ESPN, I'm talking to you, can we please get a guest picker related to Crimson Tide football? Please. I mean, I, for one, would love to see Miss Terry as the guest picker. I mean, I would enjoy that. I mean, if you have to get a celebrity, you can get Melissa Joan Hart, well-renowned Bama fan. Somebody. I mean, ESPN, if you have to call me and I'm the guest picker, I'm cool with that. You might have to write me a check, though, but I'll be cool with that, being the guest picker. Just somebody related to Alabama football. Like, I'm tired, Eli, of these marquee games for Bama, and you got College Game Day in there, and they bring out Sneakers O'Toole, who's got nothing to do with Alabama guest picking. And I'm like, really? Of all the people you could have chosen, that was the move? That was the decision? That was your ace in the hole? Come on, bruh. That's my one thing, man. Can we get a guest picker that's related to Alabama football? Anyway, that was that was just my gripe for the day. There you go. That was Steven's gripe for the day. Hopefully, we'll see a guest picker that's got something to do with Alabama football. But final discussion here. Does Jalen Milroe need a Heisman performance to beat Georgia? I've been going over it in my mind since last night. Does Jalen Milroe need a Heisman performance to beat Georgia? I don't think so. With the weather potentially being an element in this game, I don't think he needs one. Jalen Milroe, protect the football. Jalen Milroe totals 4 touchdowns. I don't care how he does it. He totals 4 touchdowns, protects the football. I think that should be more than enough for Alabama to beat Georgia. Now, I get it for some people. It's, well, Steve, he's got to have like a Heisman type of game because you're going to have game day there. You're going to have NFL teams there. You're going to have all of this external factors there. And yes, a lot of external factors will be there. But at the same time, I just don't think he has to go just over the top, right, to beat Georgia. I really don't. Especially with Georgia dealing with its own issues. Georgia's still a good team. Number one team. Georgia's still a good team. Georgia still 2 of the last 3 national championships. So, not by any sense of the imagination overlooking them. Absolutely not. What I'm saying is, with the issues that they do have, I don't think this calls for Milroe to have a Heisman, game in order to win. Once again, he protects the football, totals at least 4 touchdowns. I think he'll be fine. Now, Eli, do you think Milroe needs like an over-the-top Heisman? Does he need that? Like an over-the-top Heisman performance there? Let's see. Let's see here. So Eli's got here. Okay. He just needs a really good game. So not necessarily Heisman, but just a really good game. So basically, think about this. Alabama dealt with the rain week 1 against Western Kentucky, right? Remember, season opener, home opener against Western Kentucky. It was pouring rain, right? That game, Milroe did a good job. He went 7 of 9 passing, 200 yards, threw for 3 touchdowns? So he's got that experience to lean on. Should it be a monsoon of rain this weekend? I just don't think he needs just an over-the-top Heisman performance to win this one, but we'll see. Folks, as always, you want the best in news, notes, coverage here, conversation on your favorite program, that being the Alabama Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app. You're rocking. Download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store, you got the Android phone. For your audio needs, check us out. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, Google Play, iHeartRadio. Got you covered right there. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll be back, trying to be back on Wednesday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football. Remember, Bama fans, you get that subscription. You subscribe to touchdownalabama.com. Go there right now. Subscribe to touchdownalabama.com. Get all of your Bama in the palm of your hands. Get that subscription today. Also subscribe to TDA Plus, the video hub, for that action there as well. Gotta show some love to all of you, the Bama fans, for the chat in the YouTube chat line, for the donation from my man Dale B, for all of you making this your spot, your show to talk Bama football. Also, shout out to my man Mike from Kentucky calling in today. Gotta show some love to my man Eli Walker in the production studio. Till next time, folks, husbands love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing too. Not be bored there. You get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man Stephen Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.